Hello everyone, I'm Andy with The City Magazine, and this is The City Rise, brought to you by La Fama Cecil Healthcare. Today we're going to be interviewing our friend Luis Carlos Perez, but before we get to that, Brandy, you want to tell us a little bit about our car today?
Sure. Hi everyone, I'm Brandy Lopez. I'm the brand specialist from El Paso. This is the all-new A6 fully redesigned with our brand new Matrix LED headlights, our dual touchscreen wireless charging stations, and driver assistance packages that all of our customers are very crazy about.
Exciting, let's go! Perfect. Start by telling me a little bit about your journey. Where did you grow up? How did your experiences lead you to become a realtor here in El Paso?
Of course. Well, I grew up here in El Paso. My parents migrated here when I was a very young child, and I pretty much call it my home. I started in real estate going on 7 years now.
Wow.
I just was looking for something else. I was in the corporate world, wanted something different, something where I could, you think of that, be my own boss, make my own schedule, which is a complete fallacy, but it's been a fun journey. I enjoy every moment of it. I'm growing. I meet so many people, amazing people throughout the city, business professionals, or whether it's clients or anybody you work with. So it's been a great journey.
Yeah, it takes steps to
Yes,
get
of
to where you
course.
are. Yeah. So, what are some of your favorite things about El Paso?
My favorite things about El Paso is that it's so diverse. We have people from all over the place coming to El Paso now. Growing up, everybody was Hispanic by default. I suppose most everybody was Hispanic, and now you go and meet people from all over the world. I have clients come from Korea. I have clients that come from far deep Mexico that I would have never met. I've had clients come from Australia. So different areas, so different parts of the world that I get to meet, incorporate my business with, and then just make great friends.
So you're just international.
I could be international out of El Paso. Well, the international comes here.
Right, perfect. So I know you've received some awards.
Yes.
I've heard here and there. So why don't you go ahead and tell me a little bit about them?
Well, awards, locally in my office, I've been a pretty successful agent. I'm usually ranked top 10 in the company time after time, so that's been my success. You could say I've been also nominated for the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals top 250 in the nation. Wow. So that's another thing I have on my belt.
Great. So we all know there's kind of a saturation in the market when it comes to realtors in El Paso. How do you make sure you stand out? How do you make yourself known amongst kind of the crowd?
Well, it's very important. You want to be, what I focus on is I want to come across as professional that I am. Everybody goes out there and you see social media. It's really saturated, like you mentioned, with realtors, but you want to get somebody that's doing business, knows what they're doing, comes across professional, and it's knowledgeable. Not just somebody that looks good on picture or on camera, but somebody that's a professional and is knowledgeable in what they do. The way you stand out is just showing and proving with the work you do. Nowadays, nothing is hidden. If I have a client who experienced a bad thing, gave them bad service, it's not something that stays quiet. It goes online. You see reviews on different social media pages, real estate sites. So if anybody's looking for an agent, you want to go on these different sites and look for reviews, ask friends, families. Even Facebook has reviews on myself now. So you want to go out there, and that's how you want to stand out, because of the work and the effort you put out. It comes back.
Perfect. That's great. So how does someone like you, who's been in the business for 7 years now, what makes you different, or what have you learned from when you first started? What makes you different from someone that just started, someone that just got licensed?
All right, very well. So when somebody gets licensed, the first thing people say is like, "Hey, I love real estate. I love houses and people." So that's it. But it's not really that. It's a lot more work to that. You have to go through the grind, you go through the experiences. What makes it different from then to now is going to be just the knowledge and the ability to overcome different obstacles that we have in the transaction, whether it's buying or selling a house. There's different obstacles that come through, and that's where the experience shows. It's not just the easy, I'm gonna go sell you, like on TV, gonna go show you 3 houses and then you pick one. It's not that easy. There's a lot more to that, especially when it comes to negotiation. Picking the house is an easy thing, putting a sign on the yard is an easy thing, but the negotiation part, you want to be somebody that's savvy and has a skill to do so.
Yeah, no job is as easy as it looks
Exactly,
on TV. Yeah. So what do you think some of the questions that home buyers in El Paso should be asking realtors that you don't hear very often?
So when it comes down to interviewing a real estate agent, you have to go back at the experience. What have you done? The kind of stuff you've asked me, what have you done? What do you do for a business? Where company you work with? All that is important. Also, there's a lot of agents, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but there's a lot of agents that maybe do this sometimes or part-time or have other careers, which is fine. But if you're doing the biggest purchase of your life, you want somebody that's invested in everything, every step of the way with you as well. So that's one thing. For as far as buyers, a lot of people get caught up walking into a home, looking at different houses. They get caught up, well, how much is this house worth? Which is important. I'm not discounting that, but you really want to focus on is how much am I going to pay a month? Because that's the important part. A lot of websites online show you a beautiful house and it shows you a price, and that's not the real price. It doesn't show you the taxes and insurance you pay every month. So don't just focus on price, worry about your monthly payment. If you're financing, that's something you want to worry about as a home buyer.
Yeah, it's a lot of information that you kind of have to, it bombards you all at once, but you kind of have to keep up with it too.
Yes.
It's a learning process for home buyers as well as realtors, I'm assuming.
Yes, of course.
Great. So why don't you explain to me what list to price ratio is and what that means to you, to a buyer, a seller?
So buyer, seller, very important. So list to price ratio that's going to be more rating a real estate agent, and it's how much a house is listed for versus how much it sells for.
Right.
So there's times that you have a house and we put it on the market and then it sells for the price we put it up there. Sometimes when it's a very nice house, priced very well, we might sell it for more money than we listed for. So that ratio looks really good. Or there's times that you have a house and we think it's going to sell for a certain amount and it ends up selling for less, so that brings the ratios down. That's the list to price ratio.
And buyers can ask that for that information, right?
For us, well, if you're asking that information, you want to ask. That's when you're listing a house. What's your list to price ratio? That'll kind of give you an idea of how good this realtor is.
Great, great. What kind of a down payment do you need to make in order to keep your house affordable?
So keep your house affordable. To get into a house, there's different scenarios. Everybody's a little bit different. So there's, for example, military. We're a big military town. As a soldier, somebody could come in and use a VA loan if they're eligible and pay $0 down for a house. And that's pretty much for it. It covers most homes in El Paso. You could qualify for that. There's also different programs we call it heroes for law enforcement, teachers, police officers, that you could go in there and get incentives and different things for purchasing your home towards your down payment. But pretty average, as a first-time home buyer, you could get into a house for as little as 3%. 3.5, 5% is really the max you would need on a house. Buying a $200,000 house, you just do the math and figure out how much you're gonna need to save.
Yeah, that's great that you have those programs. A lot of people don't realize the kind of access they have when it comes to certain purchases.
It is. A lot of times people think it's out of this world. They see it as a big step, which it is. But once you get in there, it's very easy. And it's right now in the economy we're in, everything is very easy for a first-time home buyer to walk in there and get into a house.
Perfect. Why don't you give me kind of an overview of the selling process where you meet with a home buyer or a seller to when you're getting those final last signatures?
So that's a long process. There's a lot of time. So let's talk about when you're looking at a house, you're looking at a house. This is a question a lot of people have. How much time am I gonna take to buy a house? So if we go out today, you look at some homes and then you find a house, we put an offer, they accept it. So that sounds easy, but it could take a couple of days to get that done. Right. Once that's done, they accept the house. It's as easy as 30 days you could be into your house. From there, some quick steps, and then there's of course more details with that. For some steps, there's going to be like appraisals, inspections, you negotiate repairs, and then with that, then we go to the closing team. Right. And during that, there's financials and paperwork you need to turn into your lender if you're financing.
So it's we go back to being not as easy or simple. It's a process. You need to work for.
It's a process. What you need or what you want. It's not difficult, and with a professional on your side, it should be an easy process.
Perfect. And it's your job to make that as seamless and as easy as it can be for your client. Perfect. And also, what about sellers? What if you're looking to sell a home? What's the kind of expected time period for that?
For sellers here in El Paso now, it's going to vary a little bit depending on the area you're in and the price range you're in as well. Lower priced homes are selling pretty quick, so you could have a really nice home at an entry level price point, which I'm going to estimate around $130,000. Something nice is going to sell in a matter of days. That's how quickly it is. If you go up the range of prices, it's going to take a little bit longer. But if we go even on the high end, we shouldn't be taking more than 3 months for you to get an offer on your home.
That doesn't seem like long at all to me.
It's not, and of course that also has to be based off of having the price of the home correct. That's what the market is calling for, and also a professional marketing the home correctly for you.
Perfect. What do you see your demographics being for buyers? Do you kind of see like a younger crowd, an older crowd? What are you seeing now here in El Paso?
We would categorize it, and by default, I think nationally as well, the biggest number of the millennials are the ones who are buying the biggest number of homes in the country, as well as in El Paso. We have younger families. I mean, millennials are pretty broad range now. It's to your mid 30s to early 20s, but that's the big influx of home buyers at this time. It would be millennials.
Yeah. Is there any advice you would give to a buyer or seller who's already kind of gone through the process, who kind of understands a little bit, something that you think they usually tend to miss?
So number one, and it's going to be a little biased, but you want to get the right agent to work on your side. As a home buyer, a lot of people have this misconception, but as a home buyer, you don't really pay the real estate agent anything. That usually comes from the sale of the house, and those are the proceeds that pay the agent, myself, right? So you could get a professional on your side, showing you homes, giving you advice, and you don't pay a dime. All right, as a home seller, you want to have somebody that's going to be there to take care of your money. Again, going back to finding a professional that knows the market. And you could see nowadays, it's not a secret, you could see all of our track record to be able to make an educated decision.
Perfect. Finally, is there anything else you would like to share with our viewers of the City Rides?
City Rides, of course, if you're thinking of buying or selling a house, don't forget to call me. Your research has pretty much been done.
Perfect. And where can people contact you?
You can call me at 915-525-5161 or my email address at luisperez@sellersbuyers.com.
Awesome. Thank you. I think we're almost to your place here.
We're getting there, yes. All right. So we're here up in Franklin Hills at this moment.
So what are we here to do?
We're just going to check on one of the listings that is coming up on the market.
Exciting. Really cool. And what can you tell me about this?
This subdivision here, this subdivision here is up and coming. There's a lot of new construction still being up. This is particularly a resale, but it's a contemporary home that it's probably the most popular design of homes right now. Went to a trend of traditional homes, Spanish style homes, but this is a contemporary home. It's a beautiful home.
Awesome. We're here.
And this is what I do.
Thank you to Audio El Paso, Las Palmas de Sol Healthcare, and El Paso Spine Center for partnering up with the City Magazine. Thank you to Luis Carlos Perez for telling us a little bit about his life and his business. I'm Andy Martinez with the City Rides. Thank you guys. See you guys next time.